Hey Plant Fam! Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jacqueline. This is part of my jungle, hence the name, Jacqueline's Jungle. Anyway, if you're not new here, thank you for coming back. I really genuinely appreciate you for still being here and watching my videos. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about being overwhelmed and plant burnout. And I know you guys have probably seen this topic from lots of other YouTubers, but I have a lot of plants, like arguably somewhere around 500 if we're counting like all the little baby plants and all like tiny little Hoyas and all the different things that I have. It gets tricky with propagations, like do they count? Do they not count? At what point are they big enough to consider it as like another plant? Or is it just an extension of the mother plant until it's rooted and grown? And I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you count your propagations in like your overall plant count? Because a lot of the time we're propagating them with the intention to pot it up into another plant. I mean, not always. For me, at least, most of my propagations are to fill out a plant that I already have, or to sell or trade or just give to my friends. So let me know in the comments below what you think are propagations. Do they count like as a separate plant when you count your plants? So I wanted to talk a little bit about all of that, but I also wanted to touch on getting back to the basics of house plants. So I remember a few years ago, little old me had a couple of succulents. I had them for, is that a fungus gnat? I got it. I go wash my hands. What was I saying? For me, I had a couple of little baby succulents that I was growing out for a couple of years, and that was really successful. And then they got really big and they were stretched out. Etoliated is like the proper scientific word for when your plants get stretched out, and it wasn't looking great anymore. So I started Googling like what to do with my plant. And that was when I learned about propagating. And I don't know about you guys, but it didn't take much for me after that to just become completely addicted to houseplants in general, because I loved the idea of being able to propagate little baby plants. Those succulent leaves that put out these little pink roots, and I was like, oh, girl, you're so cute. So yeah. Unfortunately, with that, I didn't have the right lighting situation at the place I was living before, and a lot of my succulents were just not doing well. So I started to dabble into more foliage plants and then forget about it. A few years later, here we are. That was back in like 2019. I started like dipping my toes in foliage plants, and I loved pothos and aglionemas and stuff along those lines, and then I bought a Hoya, and it was all downhill from there. So yeah, then I got a couple of rare plants imported for the first time, and I was like, oh wow, I need more of these. And then I think you start to almost get like addicted to the process of buying plants. And then all of the plants that you have in your collection are all the same plants that are in the store every time you go to the store. So you start wanting more. At least for me, I started getting bored with the selection at Home Depot and Lowe's and even some of the local nurseries, because they all get from a lot of the same suppliers. So it's a lot of the same stuff. Plus, growers are usually growing trendy plants, so a lot of the time they're growing a lot of the same stuff, and it all hits the market at one time. So you might already have everything that's available to you locally, and that's when you start reaching the phase where you start shopping online for plants. At least this is what happened for me, and I know that this is how it goes for a lot of other people too. It might start innocent, just a couple of little plants from the grocery store or from the big box store, and then before you know it, you're online spending $500 on a variegated monstera that you probably would have thought you were insane for thinking was a good price a couple of years or even a couple of months ago. So I kind of wanted to talk about that because I've been feeling this pull towards my more common plants and the plants that really, really bring me so much joy to look at every day, and the plants that I can keep out here on these shelves and they're still gonna be mildly happy. Just ignore her. She's got her own issues. But I mean, what's not to love about a Scindapsus exotica? What's not to love about a Manjula, a Hoya Chelsea? I've got another Pothos Enjoy. David calls it Pearls Enjoy because we don't know the difference between the two. I've got a couple of Hoyas here and a Dischidia. These two are a little bit less common, but they're still perfectly fine in my home environment. Just the simplicity of this gorgeous begonia and some Tillandsia and this sedum burrow's tail. I don't know. We've had that thing forever and I try so hard not to touch it. But like this just makes me happy because these plants are lush and they are thriving. Right here we've got west facing windows that are, I don't know, 7 feet, 8 feet maybe. I'd have to like lay down on the floor to be able to tell, but they get really good light. No, I'm not going to take a video of me laying on the floor to try and measure. Actually, David has measuring tape literally right there, but I'm not going to do that. So just take my word for it. It's like 7 feet. And they're really happy here. They don't need extra humidity. And I just feel like we don't appreciate them enough. After a while, we kind of get sucked into the whole hype of like the next big plant or like the next trendy plant or like the new plant that everybody's trying to get. And I think that in that somewhere we can lose our love for the plants. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I've been really overwhelmed. You guys watched me clean out my greenhouse, which felt so good because I threw out a lot of dying and sad plants that I just didn't have the energy for. They were sucking the joy from my life. And let me tell you, girl, you come first. Your mental health and your well-being, your physical health even, comes before your plants. Like if you are sick or if you are depressed or you're just overwhelmed, you're not feeling it, you're really stressed out, it's okay to take the time that you need to take for you if that means that some of your plants are going to suffer. If some of your plants are going to suffer, girl, so be it. You are more important than your plants. So it's not fun. Nobody enjoys doing that, but I think there's a lot of stigma around that. And if you even like say things like this on the internet, like I'm sure there's going to be a couple of people attacking me in the comment section for even saying that, because they just think it's absolutely absurd. But maybe they've just never been through a mental health or a physical health crisis and they don't know what it's like to not physically have the energy to take care of your plants. Sometimes we just don't have it in us. And for me, with my little bit of ADHD and my health issues that I have as well, that kind of already leave me with not as much energy as most people my age would start out with in the morning. Seeing the greenhouse like that overwhelmed me to the point where I didn't want to do anything with it. Like the task felt so overwhelming to clean it that it just got put off for months and months. But the longer I put it off, the more stressed out I was over my plants in there declining and so on and so forth. So like, it's this whole like messed up cycle that we get ourselves into because we have this need to just keep buying and buying and buying more plants when a lot of them I was just like not even in love with. And I was like, why am I putting all of my energy that I don't have for me into this plant that I'm not even in love with? So I've been in the process of downsizing things. Unfortunately, a lot got neglected and downsized itself. but I don't want plants in my collection anymore that are gonna take like such effort to keep happy because I have too many. And I've been trying to rehome some or downsize some by like splitting them in half and things along those lines, but it's a lot, girl. I have all of these cacti and stuff that are in separate pots that take up a lot of space too. I need to like just shove a bunch of them into like one pot together, like, you know, make cute little arrangements. Let me know if that's something you guys would want to see. My cacti and succulent content doesn't do well on this channel, but I love my cacti and succulents, so I'm always happy to talk about them occasionally, just not too often, because I still need to make my money, girl. You know what I mean? So if not a lot of people are watching a specific type of content, then I tend to not make it as much. So, but I enjoy talking about it. So every once in a while, we take the hit so that we can actually do the videos that we enjoy doing and give you guys the information that I want to give you. So it's not always about the money, honey, but we do need to be mindful of that too, so your girl can pay her bills. But really the theme of this video for me that I had in my brain was just kind of like getting back to the basics, getting back to the reasons why we fell in love with plants in the first place if you are finding yourself in a similar situation as I am right now. And I've been slowly trying to go through and clean things and organize things because that helps me feel less overwhelmed by my plant chores. Yeah, let me know in the comments below if you've ever felt like this. I'm not a big fan of like the plant ban thing. I'm not good at banning myself from buying plants, but I am really good at being very, very particular about what I'm buying. So it's not that I'm not buying right now, it's just that I'm being very choosy about what I am buying. So that's why there haven't been as many unboxings on my channel. I also took a little bit of a hit with the whole Urban Leaf Shop thing, but I have an update on that for you guys this week as well. So stay tuned for that. And I have an in-person sale that I'm doing at the end of the month, so I haven't been posting anything on my website because I'm saving those for the in-person sale, and then whatever doesn't sell in person will go up on the website. So if you are in Connecticut or Massachusetts, even New York is not that far, it's like an hour and a half away from here, and you want to come and hang out, we're doing Morgan and I over at Gato's Plants and Exotics are doing a Black Friday sale at her house. So come on over, even if you just want to say hi. She's got lots of stuff. I don't have a lot, but I have some. So I'll be there, and I'll be getting rid of some plants. So yeah, I think that's really it. I wanted to touch on, you know, getting back to the basics here and what made us really fall in love with plants in the first place. And I don't know, I've just really been enjoying like curating a smaller collection of plants that I really genuinely love and kind of just trying to get rid of the ones that I don't. So the things that I am getting rid of that I don't love are not necessarily plants that I feel like are trendy or super exciting, so I haven't been trying to like sell them or anything. I've just been trying to shove them off onto like friends and family and stuff like that. So I haven't decided what to do with my alocasias yet. I don't know if I want to keep all of them or not. If I decide not to keep them, those I'll probably sell. I will be keeping a couple that are like my favorites, but I just feel like I have too many, and I like the idea of just keeping it to the ones that I really, really, really love. So let me know in the comments below if you've been experiencing something like this, if you've been through something like this, if you have no idea and can't relate to something like this because you just want more and more and more houseplants. Girl, you do you, that's fine. Say hi to me in the comments anyway. And yeah, have you ever gone on a plant ban? Did that work for you? Maybe I need to like set a budget for myself. That sounds scary. Yeah, so that's it really. I'm gonna stop talking now. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you should give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything from me. There's a join button if you want to be part of the official plant fam, get some extra content like this video that I shared recently talking about all my tattoos and stuff. It's not plant related, so if you're looking for stuff like that that's sort of plant related, sometimes not necessarily plant related, more personal things, stuff along those lines, then check out my membership program. So there is that. If not, there's a super thanks button if you want to super thanks me and donate a few dollars to my channel. Everything is appreciated. I cannot do this without you guys, and yeah, I'm really, really grateful that you guys let me do this. So anyway, I love you, fam, and I hope I see you in the next one. Bye!